Hey everybody, Sam Windish, Windish Gunworks. Welcome back to the bench for episode number 2 of our 1911 build. I know in the first episode I said the next one was going to be us talking about slide to frame fit and completing the frame and all that. I lied. I got a little bit ahead of myself because that's like the fun stuff. But we got to talk about what in the world we're building. And go over the parts that we're going to be using and some of the whys and some of the parts I would stay away from. So the general theme behind this build that we're going to be doing here is going to be a 9mm Commander and make it as lightweight as possible. We're also going to be doing it on a government size frame, so railed frame. So full government size railed frame with Commander slide on there. So, if you guys don't know, Commander frames are a little bit shorter. The dust cover is a little bit shorter. So I think it gives kind of a nice look up here, and we're gonna do some cool cuts and stuff. But yeah, aluminum frame from Stealth Arms, and then aluminum Stealth Arms mainspring housing and grip safety as well to keep everything nice and lightweight. Stainless steel slide. This is a Gunsmith blank, obviously. This is from Fusion Firearms. Really nice slides. I really like using their slides. They're just really good quality, and they don't charge you for their name. I'm not going to talk about other slides I've used that cost way more, but you guys probably know who sells slides. That charges quite a bit. Barrel, 9mm Commander barrel from Fusion as well. I've really come to like the Fusion barrel and slide combo, and I'll show you why. When you order a barrel and a slide from Fusion, you're probably not going to have to do much fitting. I don't have the the bushing in here, but that's why. And there's absolutely no rock. There's no wiggle. It fits perfectly. So, and I don't have the bushing in there, but yeah, at least for these two parts and these two parts alone, if you don't want to do any hood fitting or very little, I would buy both the barrel and your slide from Fusion Firearms. That's probably the only plug I'm going to give for Fusion Firearms, because just about everything else I'm going to say about them isn't very nice. But at least for these two parts alone, yeah, I've come to really like this combo. All right, it comes into the first part about Fusion. I don't like. I don't use Fusion Firearms for anything else other than those two parts. I have tried to use them for bushings, and their bushings are loose on their barrels. This is the only oversized Commander barrel bushing I could find. It's from Les Bear, so Bear Precision. We're going to be turning this down and boring out the ID. Really nice quality part. A couple Ed Brown products down here on the bottom. Plunger tube. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you specifically you always have to get that. I've used Caspians in the past. Sear springs. This is I'm using a competition magazine catch spring. But I've put the whole magazine catch together with it, so that'll be interesting. Should be a lighter spring. The overall thing for this gun is how to make a 1911 un-1911, and by that I mean instead of being a big heavy thing with 45 ACP, we're doing 9mm. I'll want this to be a nice 1911 for somebody with smaller hands. I'll put it that way. Firing pin spring. Harrison Design. I've really come to love Harrison Design. Just the profiles of their parts. I mean, that's a really nice slide release there. Just the contours and the execution of their parts, I think, is phenomenal. Let me just show this later. I don't want to have to take all these parts off, but thumb safety, a little extended, I think they call it their tactical or tac tack thumb safety, whatever. But yeah, just really nice lines and contours. I really like them. Harrison Design True Radius ignition kit. So I'll talk about what True Radius means for these as well, but these are just superb, phenomenal ignition kits, and you're going to pay for these if you want these. These are high-end parts. You know, this is a $75 thumb safety, where some of you, I'll give you a second to clean up the vomit. You just vomited on your keyboard, I know. But to me, it's worth it because I really enjoy these parts on a gun. So really nice ignition kit. And I'll talk when we get into these trigger parts. I'm going to talk about why these cost you 130, 140, $150 for these. But they're really, really nice. This is the first time for Fusion triggers. I decided I'd give them a try because they're fully adjustable. If you're looking for a truly fully adjustable trigger, I'll bust this open. Because some triggers will say adjustable on them, but they're not truly fully adjustable. Most of the times when you hear or you see something described as being an adjustable trigger, it's got this set screw right here, and that's fine. This set screw adjusts your over travel. Okay, so how much the trigger will travel to the rear after the shot breaks. Okay, after you trip the sear. That's what this adjustment screw, this set screw, adjusts. Now, fully adjustable, you'll be able to adjust the pre-travel as well, and it needs these tabs in the front. If you don't have these tabs in the front, I will show you a way to make it work. Okay, to substitute that. But yeah, and these are cheap. I can already tell you, I don't think I'm ever going to order one of these triggers again because when they sandblasted this is aluminum. They sandblasted the whole stirrup, and it's rough. And we're going to have to polish all of this out. And this is really rough. The actual trigger itself is really rough. I would have expected a softer, more satin media blast on this part, but yeah, I don't know. Even when you look in here, I think this used to be an anodized part because you can see some black on the inside, and I think they just took a black anodized part and sandblasted it to make it that way. So yeah, you can even see it in the ridges right there. Love Fusion for barrel slide. I'm not too sure I'm a big fan of the other parts, but we'll see. Maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. But yeah, that's fully adjustable. Link kit, barrel link kit. Also, there's a random ejector in there. Don't mind that. I just kind of threw it in there to keep it in there. This is an ejector I've had for a while. I finally just get a spare part laying around. You guys know how it is with AR-15s and stuff, right? You find a buffer spring and you're like, man, I got to build a new AR-15. Yeah, found an ejector. Got to build a 1911, right? So EGW link kit. If you're going to be building more than one, I'll tell you a trick. Okay. Yes, the standard barrel link size is a number 3. However, if you buy this link kit, in case you do need to use a different size link, you don't have to keep rebuying kits. All you have to do the next time you build a 1911 is just buy the individual link you used in the last gun, and then now you have the full kit again to use on the next build. So that's what I do. And these EGW links are phenomenal. They're really high quality. Evolution Gunworks just makes some great stuff overall. So I like to use these, or Wilson Combat, either one. So your hammer strut, this is a Caspian. I've used Caspians in the past. On my competition guns, I put titanium ones, STI titanium ones in. They work just fine. I really haven't ran into a hammer strut that just didn't work. So let me see here. Yeah, firing pin stop. Just make sure you get the right size one. This Caspian will be oversized. Same with EGWs, those are going to be oversized. I would always go with an oversized one, unless you enjoy. I don't know. To me, if a part just slides in like really loose and sloppy into a 1911, I don't like it. So I like to hand fit all my parts. And Caspian, EGW, Wilson Combat. I'm sure there's others. Ed Barry, Ed Brown, Les Barry. They're all great. I'm skipping around here. Recoil spring guide, Wilson Combat. This is for the Commander. If you're going to do a Commander, I would recommend a Wilson Combat specifically because it's cut this way. Okay, so this is already tuned for proper engagement, and this slot right here, this is where your barrel link is actually going to be sitting or residing during the recoil stroke. So we'll talk about that when we get to actually installing it. The thing missing here is the actual spring plug. I got to make that. Just didn't feel like buying one when I've got a lathe and a bunch of metal, so it's a really simple part to make. So I'll just make it. Pin kit. This is another Fusion part I did a first timer on. And I got to be honest, Fusion, if you're watching this, I love your slides, I love your barrels, man. Maybe I'm just being nitpicky, but either there's some sort of like anti-corrosion gunk like dried up on these stainless steel pins, or I don't know, but these pins could look better. That's all I'm gonna say. We're still gonna use them because I guarantee you they're gonna work. But yeah, I mean, come on, man, like that's a black pin. That's not stainless, like, come on. Get it together. But still going to use them, and I bet they still work just fine. So recoil springs, I usually get a couple different ones just to tune the gun. I think we got, what did we get? I think we got 12 and 13 pounds. Yeah, 12 and 13 pound recoil spring. That's what was recommended for Commander 9mm. So. And what's nice about these Wolf ones is they come with like a matched hammer spring. I'm not going to use that, but it's nice to have extra hammer springs laying around just in case you need to throw one into something, or if you just want to test it, just to see if you can get a different field trigger pull. For the hammer spring, I'll be using this ISMI 19 pound spring. I like 19 pound. I can get a really nice trigger pull, I think, to my finger with a 19 pound spring. I've used 17 pound springs for competition guns, and you can get a really light trigger pull. But using springs as a primary source to lower the pull weight of your trigger pull is the wrong way to do it. So yeah, that's my take. Plunger tube springs, I buy these in bulk. Things like hammer springs, any of the springs really, you can buy in like 3 packs or 5 packs or whatever, just save money, So I've got 2 of these left over in this pack, left over from the last build I did. Grip bushings, we're using slim grips on this one. Yeah, important thing about thin grips, if you're going to be using thin grips, you need to use thin grip specific grip bushings and grip screws. So this is a kit from Brownell specifically for thin grips. Yeah, when you see how thin these things are, you'll understand. But yeah, just make sure you matched up the right ones. And man, I've never spent this much on a set of grips before. This gun is actually gonna go to my wife to kind of be her 1911. That's why we're kind of focusing around lightweight, light recoil tuning, and a gun for small hands. My wife's all of like 5'3". But yeah, these are from Cherokee Hills Exotic Grips. These are handmade, and these are Gaboon Ebony, I think is how it's pronounced. Hand stippled, and they're really nice, man. So yeah, these weren't cheap, but oh yeah, hey, there you go. You can see how much I paid for them. But they're super nice. And hey, if your wife ain't worth it, then why are you married to her, right? So I think a lot of the work is for customization is going to be focused around this slide and what I end up doing to the front strap of the frame and the mainspring housing, because they are currently both smooth, but we got to remedy that. So I don't really know what I'm going to do. I don't really want to do the same old boring, well, not really boring, but the same old, 25, 20 LPI checkering. I don't know. I get bored with stuff like that. So maybe a chain link, or I got what I call a sunburst pattern. Let's see if I can. This is one of the last 1911s I did. I got this like sunburst pattern. It's really grippy. Looks pretty nice. Maybe I'll do that. This is, I did like almost like a tri-top on this front strap, but I can do it on the rounded. So I don't know. We'll figure out what we're gonna do there, and obviously I'll take you guys along for that ride. But that's kind of the gist of the parts we're going to be using here, and some of the whys. Obviously, as we go into using the specific parts, I'm going to talk about those specific parts before we actually get to cutting metal on them or to fitting them and stuff like that. But yeah, you've now seen kind of what we're doing, and yeah, I've already completed the frame. But yeah, for all you guys out there that think you got to use lapping compound, you know, there ain't no rock there, bud, and ain't no lapping compound touch my stuff. So there you go, a little sneak peek. And yeah, next time we're going to be talking about math for the slide and the frame, and we're going to have this guy getting mounted up, and we're going to be fitting the barrel and talking about fitting the barrel and cutting lugs and cutting hoods and measuring and stuff like that. So again, thanks for sticking around and watching, guys, and I'll see you next time, all right?